Today, we're talking about Iran launching 200 missiles at Israel, last night's debate between J.D. Vance and Tim Walz, port workers from Maine to Texas going on strike, and other top news for Wednesday, October 2nd. Stay informed while remaining focused on Christ with the pour-over today. Here's the quote of the day. Grace, like water, flows to the lowest part. Philip Yancey. Let's get started with some espresso shots. Republican J.D. Vance and Democrat Jim Walz went head-to-head in the 2024 vice presidential debate last night. Likely the final side-by-side comparison of the two tickets prior to Election Day, for many voters, last night was the first in-depth introduction to both VP hopefuls. Both men held mock debates with close teams of advisors leading up to the event. Minnesota Governor Walz aimed to focus more on former President Trump than Vance, while talking about things that impact Americans. Meanwhile, Ohio Senator Vance sought to explain his ticket's plans to make life better and highlight Walz's left-wing radical policies. Unlike the Trump and Harris debate, mics were not muted, and moderators left the fact-checking up to the debaters and, via QR-coded fact-checking journalist feed, viewers at home. Check back Friday for more post-debate reactions. The debate and campaign events for this year's election may feel like a big deal, but will you remember it in 1,000 years? Viewing the events of our lives from an eternal perspective doesn't mean we stop caring or that they don't matter, but it reminds us to keep our focus on Christ at the center of all things. 2 Peter 3:10-12 says, "But the day of the Lord will come like a thief. On that day the heavens will pass away with a loud noise, the elements will burn and be dissolved, and the earth and the works on it will be disclosed. Since all these things are to be dissolved in this way, it is clear what sort of people you should be in holy conduct and godliness, as you wait for the day of God and hasten its coming." Dock workers along the East and Gulf coasts marched from the port to the picket line just after midnight yesterday. The International Longshoremen's Association's first strike since 1977 has shut down all ports from Maine to Texas and sidelined about 25,000 workers. The union wants job security and a larger share of shipping operators' post-pandemic billions, pushing for 77% pay raises and a complete ban on automation at ports. The strike comes after port employers' counteroffer of 50% raises and better benefits fell far short for the longshoremen. A prolonged strike could cost Uncle Sam up to $4.5 billion daily and cause major supply chain disruptions on things like bananas, coffee, cars, and toys. The White House is closely monitoring the situation, but doesn't currently plan to intervene. Frustration between managers and workers is an inescapable part of working in a broken world. Christians can rejoice because we serve an honest master who is far more generous with us than we deserve. In all your endeavors, work to please him. Colossians 3:22-24 says, "Don't work only while being watched as people pleasers, but work wholeheartedly, fearing the Lord. Whatever you do, do it from the heart, as something done for the Lord and not for people, knowing that you will receive the reward of an inheritance from the Lord. You serve the Lord Christ." Iran launched nearly 200 missiles at Israel yesterday, further expanding the region's conflict. The attack killed at least one, a Palestinian hit by shrapnel, and prompted orders to shelter across Israel. Iran described the attack as a legal, rational, and legitimate response following Israel's killings of Hezbollah and Hamas leaders. The U.S., which helped Israel intercept the incoming missiles, has deployed thousands of additional troops to the region in recent days, previously warned Iran of severe consequences if it attacked Israel. The attack came a day after Israel launched a limited ground operation in Lebanon against Hezbollah. Israel says it's rooting out Hezbollah terrorists who have attempted to infiltrate Israel near its Lebanon border. An area 63,000 Israelis have fled since Hezbollah began firing rockets in support of Hamas a year ago. War is a heavy burden that impresses upon us our world's need for restoration. Jesus came to bear that burden of sin, lighten our load, and restore our world. Pray that the Middle East would experience that restoration and glorify the Messiah, Jesus. Matthew 11:28-30 says, "Come to me, all you who are weary and burdened, and I will give you rest. Take my yoke upon you and learn from me, because I am lowly and humble in heart, and you will find rest for your souls. For my yoke is easy, and my burden is light." Imagine a power snack bar with 12 grams of protein, ingredients that are good for your mind and body, no added sugar, and a way to give back. Let us introduce you to Mosh. From mindfully chosen ingredients like omega-3 fatty acids, collagen, vitamins B12 and D, ashwagandha, and lion's mane, to the donation of a portion of proceeds to Alzheimer's research, Mosh is the power snack that supports brain health. If you want to find ways to give back to others and fuel your body and brain, Mosh bars are the perfect choice for you. Head to moshlife.com/TPO to save 20% off plus free shipping on the Bestsellers trial pack. That's 20% off plus free shipping on the Bestsellers trial pack at moshlife.com/TPO. Thank you, Mosh, for sponsoring this episode. In other brews, here's a rapid round of updates. First responders continue counting the human cost of Helene, one of the most destructive storms in U.S. history. From Florida to Virginia, at least 150 people have died, about 600 remain missing, and millions are still without power and cell coverage. Western North Carolina saw biblical devastation after the deluge, rendering hundreds of roads impassable. Pete Rose, MLB's controversial all-time hits leader, has died at 83. Known as Charlie Hustle for his all-out style of play, Rose was banned for life from MLB and Hall of Fame contention after betting on baseball as a player and a manager. He ended his 24-season career with 4,256 hits, 17 All-Star Game appearances, and 3 World Series rings. A Georgia judge has struck down the state's 6-week abortion ban, ruling it unconstitutional and reinstating abortion up until around 22 weeks of pregnancy. Judge Robert McBurney's order stated that liberty in Georgia includes a woman's right to make personal health care decisions. Georgia's Attorney General Carr is expected to appeal the case to the state Supreme Court. A chemical plant fire in an Atlanta suburb prompted shelter-in-place orders for over 90,000 people and evacuation orders for around 17,000 more on Monday. The fire sent massive plumes of dark smoke into the sky and a strong chemical smell and haze into the air. The Rockdale County Emergency Management Agency lifted the shelter-in-place order yesterday. DirecTV has agreed to buy its longtime rival Dish for a symbolic $1 and the assumption of $9.75 billion in debt. The multi-step deal involves DirecTV buying Dish's TV business, while a private equity firm simultaneously buys DirecTV from AT&T. Satellite TV is past its prime. Combined, the two companies have lost 63% of their customers since 2016. And that's all we have for today. Thanks so much for listening. If you're listening on the Apple Podcasts app, give us a 5-star rating and drop a review. If you're listening on Spotify, give us a follow and hit the notification bell to never miss a new episode. We appreciate your support and hope you have a great day. We'll see you on Friday.
Hi, it's Kathleen from The Pour Over. Before today's episode is over, I wanted to pop in and tell you about a really cool Bible study. It's called The Bible Study. It's a guided walk through God's Word, all 66 books in one hardcover aesthetic coffee table book. You can examine how the Bible relates to you in an easy-to-understand, interactive way. If you've been looking for your next Bible study, try The Bible Study. Get your copy with the link in our show notes.